live, people. We are live. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure the old scoreboard is right and working. Because last time, didn't even get the scoreboard up. So, just about to kick off. We are moments away from kick-off. Massive, massive game in the FA Cup. Who's going to make it to the last round? My money's on Brighton. I've got to say, my money's on Brighton. I fancy Brighton in this one. So, Newcastle against Brighton from St James's Park. Let me just sync up the old... I do like St James. I hope they don't move from St James's Park, you know. Such a cool stadium, St James's Park. It's one of the good old-fashioned proper English football stadiums. Really, really good. You don't want to see them change from that. I know they've got lots of money coming in from the Saudis, but nah, keep St James's Park. Cracking stadium. And there's nothing quite like that music running round St James's Park either. The whatever it's called, Sound of a Local Hero or whatever it's called. Unbelievable tune. Anthem. Hi Caleb, how's it going, mate? I can't see who's in the chat. I've no idea. I've not even looked at the chat yet, so apologies if I'm missing anything. Right. So, Brighton have got João Pedro, Mitoma, Rutter, Minter as a front four with Hinchelwood and Belieber sitting in front of the back four. It's a really big game, this one. Really big game. Looking forward to it. Maybe not quite as much as the Man United Fulham game after. I am here for that one as well, by the way. If people are sticking around, I'm going to keep doing the Man United v Fulham game straight after this one. So, stick with me. We'll have a lovely afternoon watching the football. Yeah, I honestly, I think it's going to be Brighton's day. I think it's going to be Brighton's day, this one. Looking forward to it. Right, so we're off. We are off. It's 0-0 still. Just, obviously it's 0-0 still. Just making sure the scorelines are right on here. I'm just going to update the YouTube thumbnail. We're live across all platforms at the minute, so forgive me, I'm trying to manage multiple things all at once, but here we go. Brighton oh! Brighton nearly get in behind straight away, 40 seconds in. Woo! Glorious day in the northeast. I think Brighton are really gonna lay down a marker here. I think Newcastle have been a little bit iffy in the last couple of weeks, I've got to say. Just a little bit iffy. Been a little bit all over the place. Still a very good side, no doubt. Fabulous side, but they need to step it up. They need to get back to what they've been good at. And this is going to be a really interesting one. It's live on ITV. Whoever's watching, I know someone's just mentioned in the comments what channel it's on. It's on ITV if you're in the UK. I don't know what channel it might be on if you're not in the UK. Excuse me. And Brighton again pressing early on. 1 minute 45 in. Will Singh, should we go for Belieber in the summer, you reckon? He would be an exceptional signing for Liverpool. But again, I'm not quite sure how he would fit in to that midfield three. Szoboszlai, McAllister, Gravenberg's been so good. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind Belieber. I think Belieber would be a good signing. But I suspect Slot might just want something a little bit different. People in the chat, if you can like the live, share the live, makes a massive difference. You'd be really helping me out. Gordon with the ball into the box, and Newcastle have got a chance here. Stands it to the back, must be. Isak! Oh! And people were giving me grief earlier this morning about him being the best Premier League striker, and he's definitely been the best striker in the Premier League this season. He's just missed a sitter there. He's just missed an absolute sitter. Stood up to the back stick. Isak with the header. It wasn't even going in, and then he misses it with his left foot. He ain't 150 million quid. I'm telling you. He is not an 150 million quid striker. Whatever, Newcastle will put big fee, big transfer fee, price tag, whatever on him. And he's a good player. He's a very, very good player. But I don't think he's worth that much. I think there's better value out there. I thought there was no Prem today. There is no Prem, Callum. This is the FA Cup. This is the FA Cup. Right, forgive me, we've just missed a bunch on the live watch along. Right, there we go. We're back. We're in. We're in. Everything's working again. Should we go for Isak in the summer? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I wouldn't go for Isak. I think there's better strikers out there for Liverpool. Much better strikers. He's a very good player, but I think he'll stay at Newcastle. So I fully expect that Isak stays. Well, even if Newcastle don't make the Champions League, which they might not, I think he'll stay. He's still got 3 years left on his contract. And I don't think he's worth 150 million quid. I think you'll see Arsenal fans want him, and what'll happen is Arsenal will go back in for Watkins. You'll see some Liverpool fans want him, and Liverpool are far more likely to go in for someone like Cunha, maybe. Hi, Ewan, how's it going? Thanks for the likes, Ewan. Thanks for sharing the live. Appreciate it. If you can share the live, it makes a massive difference. Let's get a few more people in here. If Maka, Kanate and a couple of others get a yellow card in the first leg, they miss the second one. Yeah, we've got to be careful. He might rotate for that reason in the Champions League, obviously, but I'm looking forward to watching that one. Ewan, I think Brighton will win. I completely agree with you. Ewan. I think Brighton's going to take this one. It's going to be a difficult game. Interesting one to watch. Both sides have got the ability to play really well. I think both sides could well be Champions League sides. They've got enough in the ranks. They just don't show it consistently enough. Newcastle, as good as I've really, given lots of compliments to Newcastle this season, but it's been dreadful last few weeks. And Brighton are in. Ooh, early claim for a penalty. I think that would have been a soft one. João Pedro's just gone down in the box. Hiya, Grace, how you doing? Come on, Brighton. Yes. Rangers fan 123. Hi, I'm back. Good to have you back, mate. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for sharing. Makes a massive difference. I'm good. How are you? Really, really good. How are you feeling about this afternoon? Man United Fulham. Going to be a really tough one for United, that one, this afternoon. Fulham. Again, I think I'd fancy Fulham. I was going to say I'm scared. You just said I'm scared. No disrespect to Man United. I think Fulham are playing really well this season. And I think Man United are probably not favourites in that one. Which is odd, isn't it? Going into an FA Cup, maybe it's an FA Cup quarter-final next round, but, a latter stage FA Cup game at Old Trafford against Fulham, and United aren't favourites. That's bizarre. That's absolutely bizarre. United will win 2-1. I don't know if United have got 2 goals in them, Ewan. Isn't international break due to no Premier League? No, Will. It isn't international break. The international break is, I think, in about 2 weeks. 2 weeks international break, so a bit longer yet. The FA Cup is ours. Rangers fan, why did you end the stream yesterday when the City game was on? I think I ended it with about a minute left to play. I don't even think there was a minute left, was there? Only about 30 seconds or so left. Yeah, no, I only ended it because it was done. The game was finished on my stream. It was all done. 10 mins. No, the game was still. I'm sure it was about 30 seconds left, wasn't there? Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what platform it went off on. I have no idea. But I could have sworn I stayed till maybe 30 seconds or so. I did know I ended it before full time though. Someone like João Pedro, we could go in for possibly. You ended it before KDB scored. Did I? Oh Christ, sorry mate. I didn't realise that it had gone off. Who do you support? I'm a Liverpool fan, so I've got nobody in the FA Cup now. I've got to pick an FA Cup side to support for the rest of this competition. But yeah, Liverpool fan. So I've no horse in the race here. I'm just enjoying the football. Just love watching football, mate. So I'm just enjoying watching whoever plays. I'm rooting for Fulham this afternoon. I don't really care who wins this one. I like Newcastle, and I don't mind Brighton. So I don't mind who wins this. I just quite like a high-scoring game, a good game. Whereas United v Fulham, no offence, Grace, I know you're a United fan, but obviously I'm rooting for Fulham. So looking forward to that one. It's been a fairly slow opening 10 minutes here. We've not seen any chances, bar maybe the Isak one. Isak should have done a little bit better, I think. In the opening few minutes. Who would you support if you couldn't support Liverpool? I don't know. It's difficult. I'd probably support Everton. Because my granddad supported Everton and my mum supports, or my mum did support Everton. She probably doesn't really now. She doesn't really pay much attention to football, but she grew up an Everton fan. My granddad was an Everton fan. But my dad was always Liverpool, so yeah. Not Tranmere, no. Wasn't a fan of Tranmere. I don't know why, but I've always felt like a weird drawing to Coventry City. I've always liked Coventry. I think it's because when I was growing up, Coventry had Dion Dublin and Darren Huckabee, and they were a good side to watch. They were kind of a lower bottom half Premier League side, and they were a really good side to watch. So I always liked Coventry. Zedev's really annoying. Oxford got knocked out to Exeter in round 3 as we would have got Forest at home. Yeah, that would have been a great time. I mean, do you know what? Exeter even only just squirreled past, or only just got knocked out by Forest, didn't they? What about Blackburn? I didn't like Blackburn. I didn't mind him obviously because Kenny Dalglish was the manager, but yeah, I never liked Blackburn, mainly because I hate Chris Sutton. I hated Chris Sutton. Newcastle would have been another one. I always liked Newcastle, so I guess Newcastle, Coventry. I absolutely loved Sunderland when it was, which again is an odd given that I also said I like Newcastle, but I love Niall Quinn and Kevin Phillips. That Sunderland team of the late 90s was brilliant. So yeah, lots of really good sides that I grew up watching, but I was always likely to be a Liverpool fan because of my dad. That tends to be how it goes, isn't it? You support who your dad supports. I think Man U will make a comeback next season. No chance. They need a lot of money. Reese, shh. Be very quiet about that. Yeah, the United thing. United aren't going to make a comeback anytime soon without a bucket load of cash. That's the problem. United need a bucket load of cash to get themselves in order, and it ain't coming anytime soon. They're rationing toilet paper at Old Trafford. You know, they're cancelling free meals for staff, and it's a really bad time at United. Actually, it's a really bad time. I feel sorry for them. Which is an odd feeling as a Liverpool fan to feel pity for United. Kane, people not happy with your team of the season predictions. They were honestly, that was ridiculous, Kane. They were kicking off about nothing, I thought. I thought there was some good shouts in there, personally. But I'm going to rejig it and go back on later. It's a team of the season chat. It's not necessarily a team of the season. It's a team of the season with a twist, isn't it? It's a team of the season with the old Premier League dad twist, which is you can only pick one player from each team. And that's what makes it really complex and really complicated. So there was lots of people in the chat crying out for Isak and why is Isak not in and why is this person not in, and then the very same people, when you change them out, don't like what the consequences are for the rest of the team. It's madness. You remember John Aldridge? He was an Oxford club legend and Liverpool fan. He was class. Yeah, absolutely. And he played for Tranmere as well. Another one who's been mentioned in this chat. They're giving staff soup for lunch. Nothing wrong with that. Panasar guy, we're getting Osimhen. Do you think so? I don't think so, you know. I think United are going to need to spend very, very big to get back to a level. And they haven't got the money. They really haven't got the money. Honestly, that's going to be the real challenge for United. They need the money. Kane, yeah, it's really sad as a United fan at the minute. Very, very difficult. I get it under every predicted lineup, mate. People not agreeing and some being abused. You get it, in fairness, Kane, I think you get it far worse than me, mate. I feel it's so annoying watching your comments. If people in the chat, if you don't know Kane, go and give him a follow. He's a top guy. Yeah, Brighton are in. Oh, nearly. Very nearly. Newcastle just clear it away. And Gordon's on the attack on the other end. Jesus Christ. Ball switched in. Isak. He goes for the shot. Straight down the keeper's throat. He said he wanted to join Manchester United. When did he say that, though, Panasar? When did he say that? Surely that was a while ago. Rashford looks a permanent to Villa, according to reports, if he continues his form. Yep, absolutely. I think Rashford 100% gets in the team at Villa and starts playing really well. Your TikTok stream name says Liverpool versus Newcastle. Does it need updated, bro? Oh, does it? It probably does, actually. That's well annoying. I don't even know how you update it. Let me go on my phone and try and update it. It's because I'm streaming. I'm doing a multi-stream thing, so apologies. Thank you. Funny seeing United fans frustrated when ever since I was young, Oxford have been pretty shit. Hey, listen. Yeah, you've got to stick with your team through thick and thin. I know, like, Liverpool, they're in a good patch now, but I remember we didn't win nothing for years, and, you know, we got loads of grief for not winning the Prem for 30 years. We never won anything. Under Hodgson, that was a really dark time. We thought we was going into administration. The club might not even exist anymore. So, you know, it is rough. You've got to stick with your team. Bro, there's a likely chance we're definitely getting him. 95% signing complete. Really? Well, hey, if maybe you're right then, Osimhen. I don't know. I don't think Osimhen's a signing that Manchester United could pull off, I would say. Yeah, I would say United probably are looking a little bit down market from Osimhen. Osimhen's fantastic, and I think if he becomes available on the market, he's far more likely to go to, I don't know, Saudi or Arsenal. I think Arsenal would take Osimhen before United. Do you know what Millwall were chanting when Mateta got kicked in the face? Yeah. Yeah, I do, and it wasn't very nice. It adds an awful lot to the reputation that some, not all, but some Millwall fans have given the club. Yeah, and apparently they caused quite a bit of bother against Crystal Palace yesterday. I know it happens at all games, all rivalry games, but it was sad to see that yesterday. You don't want to see that stuff. I seen a thing yesterday saying, apart from Newcastle, no team with United in name are doing good. Yeah, that's probably true, actually, isn't it? I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say Newcastle are doing good, though. Newcastle, I mean, yes, they're in a cup final. So if they win that, if they beat Liverpool in the cup final, then it's been a great season for them. They'll take that, no problem. Newcastle, I think, need to be expecting to be in the Champions League this season, and I think they're just fluttering away with it, aren't they? I don't know if they're going to be able to make it. Arsenal, he ain't going there. Gyökeres and Osimhen will be in the Prem next year. Chelsea, Arsenal and United most likely. Again, to me, it just feels like Gyökeres, I think he will leave Sporting, absolutely. How the friggin' hell do I update my live? I don't even know how you do it. You say definitely not Arsenal, but Arsenal are screaming for a centre forward, and you know, if they're going to go for a centre forward, Osimhen and Gyökeres are probably the two that they would look at. So, and if you're Osimhen, I think you'd prefer to go to Arsenal over Manchester United right now. And that's me with no horse in the race. You know, I'm not an Arsenal fan. I'm not a United fan, so I don't think that Osimhen would choose United over Arsenal if it was a straight choice between those two. And I'd probably think Gyökeres would be the same. Gyökeres maybe would go to United for the sake of Amorim, but I'm not sure he would, given that Amorim probably won't be there very long if United keep playing the way they've been playing. How long's Amorim likely to stay at United for? Who's your team, by the way? I'm a Liverpool fan. Joe Linton, out wide to Gordon. Oh, that's got to be a pen. And it is. Penalty to Newcastle. I know Osimhen's a United fan, was close to joining before he went to Napoli. Okay. I didn't know he was a United fan, to be honest. But maybe he does. Maybe he does go to United. But even if he does want to go to Manchester United, let's say he does. Let's say I'm wrong and he wants to go to Manchester United. How much does Victor Osimhen cost in this market? Because I'm telling you, United are penniless in the summer. United are really, really struggling in the summer. They've made another massive loss in the previous sort of financial window. So I don't know why Minter's complaining here. It's a nailed-on penalty. Nailed-on penalty. He has a release clause of 62 million. Does he really? Oh, that's interesting, Kane. That is interesting. If he's got £62 million release clause, then maybe it could happen. Just maybe. But I would have thought that Napoli would be commanding quite a bit more for him. Let me just have a little look-see. Osimhen release clause. Yeah, 62.1 million. Blimey. Right, here we go. Isak steps up. That's some penalty, isn't it? That's not a bad penalty. Same with Gyökeres. If United sell Rashford for the 40 million, that frees up a lot of money with PSR. It does, but you'll still have the problem of you've got Højlund, who was, 70, 80 million. You've got Anthony, you need to get off the books. You need to get Sancho. Well, Sancho, I don't know if it's an obligation to Chelsea, is it? What's the score with Sancho to Chelsea? Yeah, 20 to 25 million, depending on Chelsea's performance. So it's an obligation to buy. And the obligation to buy is triggered if Chelsea finish in the top 14. Right, so Sancho's going to United, that's 20 million. You've got Anthony will probably go to Betis for maybe the same, 20 million, thereabouts. Anthony might stay at Betis if they offered 50 million. They're not getting 50 million quid for Anthony. They're not getting Anthony for 50 million quid. Anthony's maybe, I don't know, 25 maybe. United have confirmed they have to sell in order to buy this summer. I think that's the thing. But that probably also includes the players they've agreed to sell. So like Rashford, Sancho, they're probably not even factored into it. I think there's some players in there that will want to get shifted off the books. Like, I mean, Lindelof's going to go. I think they were hoping that Casemiro would go. But Casemiro now has made it quite clear that he wants to stay at United and see out his contract. Because nobody's going to pay him £350,000 a week. So Casemiro's going to stay for another year. That's another player, another load of money they've got to pay out. Good ball from Isak. I need to update the scores. Right, there you go. Sorry. Sancho is obligated 25. I think Isak has scored 11 of his last 12 penalties. Yeah, he's a good penalty taker. But how many of his goals this season have been penalties? That'll be interesting. If I was Casemiro, I'd be sat on a beach watching my 350k enter each week. Yeah. The thing is, he'll go and he'll stick around and he'll probably still play. He'll still play a number of games. Wouldn't be surprised if Garnacho leaves. Well, there's rumours about Garnacho and Manu, was the one I was on about. Manu and Garnacho going because they're technically homegrown players, aren't they? So if United were to sell him, the PSR boost would be big because they wouldn't, on the balance sheet, there's the full amount carries over. They don't have to deduct anything as a result of the cost they paid for him. So there was rumours linking Manu to Chelsea. So the rumours linking Garnacho to Chelsea as well. And Napoli was another one, wasn't it? So yeah, I think there's going to have to be an awful lot of change at Manchester United this summer, and I'm not entirely confident that what comes out after that is necessarily a better team. Do you know what I mean? I think that's the problem. Malacia will go to PSV. Option to buy is 8 million quid. This is it. These are players, though, that United have paid good money for. You know, I think Rashford goes. Yes, Callum. Absolutely, I do. I think we've seen already, you know, he's gone to Villa already. He looks a different player. So, I think he has to go. For his own sake. And I think Manchester United probably want him to go as well on the sly. I don't think we can judge Amorim until he has his team. It's dangerous territory though, Kane. Very dangerous territory because at some point the manager has to manage with what he's got. He has to manage with what he's got. You can't bring a manager in and say, well, we're only going to judge you once you've got 11 or 12 of your own players or whatever. You don't get that as a manager. At a big club like Manchester United, you have to work with what you've got and try and get the best out of it. And I think it's evident that he hasn't been able to do that. So then it's very dangerous, I would say, to say, well, what we'll do is we'll give you, even a manager who's proven you can't work with what we've got, we'll give you a shed load of money to shape the team in your image. What if it still doesn't work? And then another manager has to come in. Do you say the same with him again? Because then you've got another load of turnover and players leaving, players coming. It's a never-ending cycle with Manchester United at the minute. That's really good play by Newcastle. And Anthony Gordon's in on the left-hand side here. Very, very good player. Drives, good shot, good save. Tom Williams said the same for Ten Hag and Ollie, though. Gave them 3 years to buy players. Dan H couldn't have said it better myself, pal. It's tough. You know, I'm not sitting here and saying that Manchester United shouldn't be buying and selling. They do have to improve the squad. Absolutely, they have to improve the squad. But we have to remember that managers, like, look at David Moyes. I pointed it out during the Manchester United-Everton live the other week. The team that Amorim has inherited at Manchester United and the team that David Moyes has inherited at Everton, tell me that the Everton team is individually, player for player, better than that Man United one. It isn't. It isn't. And yet no team in the Premier League has picked up more points than Everton. And Amorim's won, 4 out of 16 games? Like, why? Why is that? The reality is it's purely because he's being very stubborn and sticking to a really rigid style of play, which evidently the group of players he's got isn't suited to. Oh, that's very good play by Brighton. João Pedro's chasing it down. Cleared away by Newcastle, only as far as, I think it's a stooping hand. Ball into the box. It's gone all the way over to the far side. Cleared away. Kasim Passa 1, Galatasaray 1. Oh, Anthony Gordon. She's been chopped down by Tariq Lamptey. It's a yellow card. United need a manager to come and say, okay, I've got these players, what can I get out of them? The problem we have is we spend stupid money on players and it's not justified. All excellent points, everyone in the chat. All excellent points. Couldn't agree more. They knew this when he came in. They brought him into play his system, so why change? Yeah, I know, but they said the same with Ten Hag. Like, you have to give managers a certain number of... I think, like, with Amorim, he's come in and he's inherited certain players, like, for example, Mazraoui. Mazraoui, I wouldn't say is a player that he wouldn't fit like a glove in Amorim's system, but Ten Hag really liked him, had worked with him before. You've got to get the worth out of a player like Mazraoui. You've got to get more out of him. I think he should be starting for Manchester United going forward. But if Amorim gets his way, he won't. Mazraoui won't be in the full-back positions. He's going to have Dorgu on one side, and he'll want another full-back. So where does that leave Mazraoui? Mazraoui then has to play in a kind of maybe a sitting role. Does he try and convert him into that, or does he end up on the bench? Does he try and play him as a third centre-back? All these things, like, I just don't think he's going to end up... It's not going to end up working with Amorim. And I've completely changed position on that, because when he came in, I thought this guy's going to sort United out, and I felt really bad about it because I don't want United to turn it round as a Liverpool fan. But I did think he's a good manager. He'll get United right again. If they give him time, he'll get United right. But what we've seen in the first 2 or 3 months has been really quite depressing. Even as a non-United fan, I'm looking at United, especially in that first half against Everton, and I'm like, right, you're 2 months, maybe 3 months into a project here. We should be seeing signs. We should be seeing something. We should be seeing a shape. We should be seeing better application from the players individually. It ain't happening. The atmosphere is still just as bad. The players still look just as likely to throw it away. They still look all over the place. A lot of the players still don't know what they're doing, what position they should be in. The shape is bizarre. I don't think he is communicated well enough to the players. It's one of two things, isn't it? It's one of two things. Either the players are absolute waste of space and won't listen to him and don't care about Manchester United and they just want to take the money. It's either that, or they do care and they are trying, but he's not communicating what he wants from them very well. It just, to me, here we go. That could be 2, and it is. He's offside, surely. Miles off. Yeah, he's miles off. They should have gone for a manager that suited the system. It's poor sporting direction from the club, in my opinion. I've got to be honest, I don't like Mazraoui at wing-back or below. Some of those players' attitude, though, is horrendous. Yeah, Kane, listen, I've got to agree with all that, mate. Absolutely agree with all that. There's some players there definitely whose attitude I would question. But others, I think they are really trying. How bad was that challenge on Mateta yesterday, Dan? Yeah. I still don't believe how that referee, Michael Oliver, how he doesn't give a straight red. No idea. Two sides of the coin with United at the minute. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a very, very interesting summer. We can say that. We can say that with a level of certainty. Right, well, I've no idea how I can change the TikTok heading. Finish though. Isak is so good, man. Would love him at Liverpool, but can't see him leaving. I don't think Isak is a Liverpool striker. I just don't. I think he's a very good player, and I understand why he's so well thought of, and he is a very good striker, but I don't think Liverpool would sign him. And I don't personally think Arsenal sign him. I didn't want to sack Ten Hag until the summer, as I knew bringing someone else in wouldn't matter. Very fair. Matt Fogging at Premier League Dad. I don't know what you're saying. Dan, who would you like? I think Cooney would suit us personally. Well, I had a massive row with a load of people this morning and last night about which player had the better season. Not which player was better. Not which player was better. Just which player had the better season of the two. Isak or Cunha. Right? And I argued that Cunha had the better season of the two. And he was like, how can you justify that? How can you possibly say that Isak is not the best striker in the league and Isak's not this and this and this? And I just said, I think if you put Isak in to Wolves' side, I don't think he gets the same. I don't think he plays as well as Cunha does. I think Cunha for Wolves has dragged them out of the relegation zone. I think if you put Isak in that Wolves side, he'd still do very well, but I don't think he would. I don't think he would play and save them and drag them out of the relegation zone. Whereas I think if you put Cunha in this Newcastle side, I think they'd be about where they are now. You know, and also, to be fair, Isak has only had, 17? He's got 17 goals in the non-penalty. 17 non-penalty goals and 5 assists. Cunha's got, I think, 13 or 14 goals and 5 or 6 assists, 4 or 5 assists. There's not like a massive amount of difference. But if you was to look at the two and go, well, I'll tell you what, he plays for Wolves, who are right down the bottom end of the table, barely get to kick. Isak, he's playing for a team that's chasing Champions League football, gets quite a few chances in a game. I think it's much of a muchness. Who else would you like? I'd like Ekitike. I'd like Ekitike from Eintracht Frankfurt. I've been watching quite a bit of the Bundesliga this season. So, yeah, Ekitike from Frankfurt is definitely one I would be looking at if we were in the market for a centre-forward, if Núñez goes. Kane, who would you go to replace Salah, Van Dijk and Trent if they leave? I don't think Salah and Van Dijk leave. I'm almost certain that Salah and Van Dijk have already signed. And I think it's just a case of Trent. So the question, who would I replace Trent with? Well, I think we've already got Conor Bradley. So I'd keep Conor Bradley and I'd get him playing more. And I would maybe bring in a older right back, someone who could play the odd game here and there. Someone like, let me have a think, who would be a good like, someone who's like maybe late 20s, experienced pro, available on a fairly cheap deal. Let me have a think, who would that be? Right back of a certain age. Oh no, Galatasaray getting beat. I'll tell you it would be. Someone like maybe Olaina, actually. Olaina's got he's out of contract this summer, isn't he? He can play right and left. He might be a decent little shout. Assuming he wanted to, or was up for leaving Nottingham Forest. Or maybe failing that, I don't know, guess someone like, I'm trying to think, like maybe not Tavernier from Rangers, he'd be a bit too old now. Maybe Kenny Tete from Fulham. No, injuries have kind of hurt him a little bit. Surprised people actually watch the Bundesliga. I don't mind it, Jack. I quite like watching it when it's on. You know, I watched Eintracht Frankfurt against Leverkusen the other night. That was really good. Unpopular opinion, Conor Bradley's a better all-round fullback than Trent. Yeah. Maybe defensively you could argue that. I think Trent is very, very underrated defensively. Because he's so good going forward, people do give stick about him defensively, but he's actually been really solid defensively. He played really well against City. You know, the whole Doku taking him on. Every time Doku got past him, he never actually did anything with it because there was always another player backing him up. So I think Trent has improved much better. He's a much better one-on-one defender. Jack Burns, Reece James could go to Liverpool. He'd be okay if he only had to play a couple of games. I'm not sure Chelsea would want to sell us Reece James. Trent was genuinely class defensively at the start of the season. Yeah, he was brilliant. I think he's been good defensively all season. I don't want him to go, but I think he will. I think he's going. Would Robinson replace Robertson? The only question with Anthony Robertson is age profile. He doesn't fit what FSG and Liverpool do with age, so he would cost quite a bit from Fulham, and he's too old. I think is he 27, 28? He's past that. He's just past that little bit of a. Let me just have a quick check what age he is. Yeah, he's 27. He's 28 next year. Well, they're 28 this year, so he's just over the hill from a Liverpool perspective. Even though he's coming into his prime, he's just over the hill. And what else was I going to say? Yeah, also, funnily enough, the Feyenoord defender, David Hansko, plays for Feyenoord, played for Feyenoord under Slot. He came out just before Christmas and said something quite interesting, that he said Liverpool did approach me and I did speak to Slot, but he said exactly the same thing as Anthony Robinson. He said that I didn't fit the age profile of Liverpool, so he couldn't sign me, even though he would like to. So that's quite interesting, because if Slot did want David Hansko to come to Liverpool from Feyenoord, he's a lot like Gvardiol and a lot like how City play. Do you like a centre-back that can play left-back? Not an out-and-out left-back, maybe in the sense that Robinson is, or like Robertson, Andy Robertson, or Kirkes maybe. There's lots of rumours linking Liverpool to Kirkes. If Slot wanted Hansko and still wants a player like that, then he's looking for a completely different left-back profile. Someone like Jorrel Hato. Yes, Dan. That's a lot closer to it. That is a lot closer to it. I feel like his old habits have crept back in recently. Kirk is a lot younger. Have you seen much of Hato at Ajax? Jorrel Hato at Ajax, he is someone who can play left back and centre back. So he would be a very, very good signing. I'm not sure if he would come in and start immediately. So in that sense, maybe he is the right player to come in, because I think Robertson's been... It's been overrated how bad Robertson has been for Liverpool. Like, Liverpool fans have... The few games where we've drawn,
people have picked at Andy Robertson and said he's been dreadful, but I think he's been alright this season. He's had his moments, of course, but he's being asked to play a slightly different way than Klopp asked him to. If I'm United, I'm going Prem-proven players next 2 windows. What positions do you think United have to go for to improve? I mean, centre-forward does seem the obvious one, but I think midfield's a big area of improvement. Like, Agate's come in, and I don't think Agate's made a massive difference to United. You guys take short if you give us some fries. Oh, that's a wonderful ball, and Brighton are in behind. Must be. It's in. It's 1-1 Brighton. There you go. There you go. It was a mistake from Newcastle. We said they'd be vulnerable at the back. And it's there. It's 1-1. Newcastle 1, Brighton 1. It's Yankuba Minte, the guy who gave away the penalty in the first half. He's just smashed it in. Slight deflection. He's not celebrating. He's giving it the old apology. I'm sorry for scoring. He gave away the penalty at the other end, but it's poor from Newcastle. And a wonderful pass from João Pedro. Great play. And Minter with a good finish. I think it does just deflect. Let's just have a look. I think it does. It comes off... Is it Kieran Trippier? It is. It's in off Trippier. Kieran Trippier has been so bad the last few weeks. He's unlucky there, but... Dan, he'll eat them before they get to us, bro. Agate's been excellent. Bruno makes him look terrible as he has too much space to cover. Agate, I think he's a good player, and he can be a good signing for United in the right system, as you say. Probably needs a bit of help in that midfield area, because when Casemiro's in there, he doesn't have any legs with him. When Fernandes in there, probably the same. Fernandes needs to be much further forward in that 10. In that hole behind the striker. Striker, right back, centre mid, centre attacking mid, left. You think you'd go for a centre attacking mid? Is that not Bruno's position? That's exactly where you'd want to play him, surely. Mainu looked decent with him, then got injured. I think you need probably a couple in centre mid. I think you probably need a striker, a right back. I think you need a centre back. You definitely need a centre back. So striker, left back, centre back, and probably a couple of centre mids, and maybe even a wide player. You know, you've got Ahmad, you've got Garnacho, but is that enough? Is that enough in attack? Let's say you got Osimhen. Let's say Osimhen came in. If United's attack next season was Osimhen, Garnacho, and Ahmad, is that good enough? I don't think it is. Not for what United should be aiming for, which is, you know, getting up the table, getting in European football. Garnacho, Ahmad and Osimhen is not a top 6 attack. It's not. It's absolutely not. You're going to hate this, but I would sell Bruno. Yeah, again, I'm not sure. I think that Minter's giving Newcastle a torrid time here. I can understand Newcastle. I can understand the idea of selling Bruno, because he's reaching that age now where this is probably the last time to get shut of him. But that said, he's still one of your better players. Ederson from Atalanta. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Ederson from Atalanta. Osimhen from Napoli. Quenda from Sporting. Okay, so you're talking probably 150 million from them 3. Cunha as well. Okay, so there's 210. Not even got onto your wing back and your centre back yet. Minter turning up against his old club always happens. He has done really well, Minter, in this one. He's done really well. Cunha has a 60 million. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So 60 million for Cunha, 60 million for Osimhen, that's 120. 50 million for Ederson, and maybe 40 million for Quenda. 30, 40 million for Quenda. So you're talking easily 200 million plus. Yeah, I've just seen Galatasaray have equalised. Yeah, thank you. Inacio valued at 25. Okay, fair enough. Let's say you go and get Inacio. That's, what, maybe 230. It's half-time. There you go. We can roll that back to the halfway mark. It's 1-1 at half-time. Galatasaray 3-2. There we go. Galatasaray 3-2 up. And it's Osimhen. We're talking about him. We're talking about him. And Osimhen's just put Galatasaray 3-2 up. His second goal of the game. Second goal of the game. I'm watching it here. It's Davinson Sanchez who scored the equaliser. Don't say it's being checked. Don't say that. I've got Galatasaray to win. It's also the Zagreb derby as well. Someone got an hacker on as well. Oh, aye, just a bit. It's the Dynamo Zagreb Hajduk Split derby today. I've got a Dynamo Zagreb top behind me. And that's just 1-1. Hajduk Split have just equalised. Right, yes. So, and then we need a keeper the season after. I think you probably need a keeper. Full stop, I'd say, Kane. But, okay, so you're talking Inacio, Cunha. You're looking at 300 million quid. That's what you've just... Those signings that you've just give, you're looking at a £300 million investment. And Manchester United have just made a £300 million loss. I can't see how United invest that sort of money. They haven't got it. They haven't got it. It would be financial suicide, you'd have to say, to throw that sort of money around without some big money coming in. So they would need to go out there and sell Rashford, sell Sancho, sell Anthony, and even that's probably not going to get you 100 million. Rashford's 40, Sancho's, 20, 25 maybe at a push. And Anthony maybe the same, 25, thereabouts. So you're looking at maybe just less than 100 million for them three. 2 homegrown players and Bruno. How much are you getting for Bruno? In this current window, in this current climate, if Bruno Fernandes was put up for sale, who do you think comes in for Bruno Fernandes? Their wages are criminal, absolutely criminal. Same with Garnacho. Like, Garnacho, you put Garnacho on the market, I think there's a... There was rumours doing the rounds at Old Trafford that Garnacho was put up for sale and the club wanted to sell him because he's a homegrown player, because of, he would make a lot of money for the club because he's homegrown. They were actively pushing him, the sale. Same with Mainu. For a spell, there was a time they wanted to sell him. But the money that was coming forward, the offers that were coming forward from interested clubs just was nowhere near what United thought it would be. Like, I think they thought if we put Garnacho on the market, we'll get 70, 80 million quid for him. And it was like half that. So, what baffles me is businessmen will sack admin staff but allow average footballers to get insane wages. It's sad. It's very sad. FM No Casuals, very sad because the reality is they can get rid of the admin staff like that. Off you go. See you next whenever. Whereas Casemiro's got a signed contract that says he is going to be one of the highest paid players in the Premier League for another 18 months or however long. And who can blame him? Look, he's going to sit back and take that. He's going to sit back and take it. And sell Dalot as well. Again, to who? Put Dalot on the market. I think he only goes for maybe 15, 20 million quid. Good game in it, Caleb. Yeah, agreed. End of the day, this is going to take 4 to 5 years getting people in and out and doing smart signings. Yeah, and that comes back to the point that I think it was a guy called Panasar who was in the chat earlier. I'm not sure if he's still in the room or not, but we were talking about whether or not Manchester United could get back next season. And I immediately said, no, it's going to take some time, some real time. Even if you went out there and got Osimhen, which I don't see happening. I don't think United can go out there and get Osimhen. And maybe they could, but I think if you're Osimhen and you have... Would that not be a red flag? Would that not be a red flag to you as a Manchester United fan? If you can go out there and sign Victor Osimhen. For a player who's that good, with that goal record, he's available for 60 million quid. You would expect at that fee there will be multiple parties interested, and I think Arsenal would be one of them. So let's say you've got Arsenal and Manchester United to choose as a player. Any player for me that chooses Manchester United is a player. If I'm a United fan, I wouldn't want that player at Manchester United. Why do you, as a player, want to come to Manchester United over Arsenal? Like, the state we are in right now, you need players to come who, yes, love the club, all that, and maybe he is a fan, right? That's all fine. But you've got to have players who've got hunger and ambition and fire in the belly. You know, they want to come and they want to drive United on to the big, better things. He ain't going to do that on his own at Manchester United. And he's at an age now where he needs to be playing in the Champions League and playing regularly at the top level to win the trophies and be the player he can be. If he goes to Manchester United and signs a 4-year contract, and we have all just said in this chat that it's going to take 4 to 5 years to turn Manchester United around, how? He's just wasting his career. Just a waste of his career. It'd be another Bruno Fernandes. So for me, it would be. I think if United signed Osimhen, it would be like when Liverpool signed Ryan Babel. Because I loved it, but Ryan Babel came to Liverpool and immediately was one of them who thought, right, I've made it. I'm at Liverpool. And I think Osimhen would think the same. Osimhen would go to United. He wouldn't think, right, I'm at Manchester United now. I need to prove myself, or I think he'd think he's made it. And he can swan around a bit because he's a Manchester United player. I think he's a fabulous player, Osimhen, but it would worry me if he was to go to United. Even if he's a United fan, I think he needs to go to a club that can match his ambitions. If he goes to United, mark my words, I think he would be one of them players that lets United down. I think Man United would get 55 million for Garnacho. I'm not sure they would, Caleb. I don't know who would pay that sort of money. Man United would get 60 million out of Dalot. 60 million. 60 million for Dalot. My goodness me. I think if United got 60 million for Diogo Dalot, then someone's done an amazing job. Kane, go for players from Premier League clubs who are hungry to play for a bigger club. Yep, that's it. That is it in an absolute nutshell. I think that would be unbelievable. Unbelievable that if United went and got a load of players who were Premier League experienced players, they'd be better off spending the money and go and get Anthony Robinson from Fulham. Go and get Milos Kerkez. Yeah, there's rumours Milos Kerkez is a Manchester United fan. That'd be a good signing for United, and he would fit Amarim's system. Manchester United need players like, and it's bizarre because they've just got rid of Scott McTominay, but they need players with legs in midfield. They need players who'll run for days, who can be. Morgan Gibbs-White would be an unbelievable Manchester United signing. There's so many good players you could sign for United, but we could talk about that for days. I miss Fred said this the other day. Fred was alright in that position. He would just sit in front of the defence and chase and harry and close people down. And you know, I look at the job that Garner Gay is doing for Everton now. Garner Gay is 35. United just need someone like that. Just someone reliable who you can put in front of the back line. Fred and Agate would be amazing in this system. Yeah. Liverpool should get Leif Davis on a snap. No. We don't want to be signing players like Leif Davis. Not now. I remember when we signed Andy Robertson from Hull, but I felt like Andy Robertson, when he played for Hull, he made more of an impression in the Premier League than Leif Davis has. I think Leif Davis has done all right at Ipswich, but he's not done that well. No, we don't want Robbo. Yes, we do. Amari Hutchinson would be good for United. Yeah, maybe. That's not a bad shout. Liam Delap. Liam Delap would be a good centre forward. Yeah, there you go. Liam Delap for United. Mateta, I can't look past, but I don't think he would be. He's not an Amorim striker, whereas maybe Liam Delap is. Let's have a think of other players maybe United could go for. Eze would be good. I don't rate Eze. I don't rate him. He's a good player, but he's looked half the player since Elise left. And he links up quite well with Mateta. Mateta's one of my favourite strikers, but yeah, Elise was just different class for Palace. And Eze feels like an Aldi version. Right. Let's have a little think about who we could put in for Manchester United. I'd take someone out of that Gomez and Andre in midfield. Not many amazing right backs in the Prem at the minute. Yeah. Don't I know it? Again, no. One of the better right backs in the Premier League is Aaron Wan-Bissaka. So, and you look at the way that he plays for West Ham now, and you have to think Aaron Wan-Bissaka in that Man United side and Scott McTominay in that Man United side. That would be perfect. I watched Atletico Madrid last night against Bilbao. If anyone saw the reaction that Simeone gave to Conor Gallagher was absolutely incredible for Atletico Madrid last night, chasing and harrying in that midfield. And I looked and I thought to myself, did United sign the wrong Chelsea midfield? They went and got Mason Mount. Should they have gone and got Conor Gallagher? Conor Gallagher would have been brilliant in that United midfield. He'd have been perfect. Fuck's sake, Gallagher give away a pen, I think. Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. Yeah, it could be a penalty for Kasim Passer. What about that Southampton wonder kid on the wing, Tyler Diblin? Tyler Diblin is a Manchester United player. He is a Manchester United player. The worry is if that Tyler Diblin goes to Manchester United, he would have to go in place of maybe Garnacho. He plays where Ahmad plays, doesn't he? He plays on the right-hand side. So it would mean maybe a slight rejigging of that front three. He's a very good player, though. I like Tyler Diblin. I said we should sell Delo over Wan-Bissaka, got called crazy. Yeah, football fans in it. Yeah, penalty to Kasim Passer. I feel Barkley will end up back at Everton soon. I don't think Everton fans want him. Everton fans are going to go through a real cycle in the next few months. Well, next couple of years, I'd say, actually, with the new stadium, because they're in this new stadium and I think they're going to very quickly expect to kick on and start challenging for Europe and moving up the table, which isn't unrealistic. But just watch. This is one thing to keep your eye on over the next 6 months. They'll very quickly switch on David Moyes. They will, I'm telling you. David Moyes has come in and saved Everton, done incredibly well, turned them round. He gets the club, he's done the simple things very, very well. He's not done what Amorim has done. He's not overcomplicated it. He's done a really, really good job at Everton. But Everton don't want David Moyes leading them into that new stadium. They don't want that. They want shiny, 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 new, shiny manager. Young manager, plays attacking football. They want that. They want Everton to go out and appoint someone like, I don't know, some fancy foreign manager. who plays a style of football that Everton fans will like, and it'll just start to happen in the next few months. You'll see the criticism of Moyes just intensifying, and he'll probably go either in the summer or early next season. And I think the same with Arteta, by the way. I think Arteta wins nothing with Arsenal this season. Arsenal go into the summer, all the fans expect that they'll sign an Isak and then they go out and they actually get Ollie Watkins. The players that they sign, and Kimmich, players like that, they won't get the players that they think they should have got. It won't start very well the season, whereas it probably will start well for City. I think City will reinvest very, very well. Arsenal will get it wrong, and Mikel Arteta will be gone by Christmas. That's my predictions. Mikel Arteta gone for Christmas. David Moyes gone for Christmas as well. And both Everton and Arsenal will have new managers before Christmas 2025. What about Mbeumo, Worcester United? Both of them would be amazing. If Diblin signed, Ahmad would go wing back. Would that not kind of take the wing out of his sails a little bit? You'd want to keep Ahmad further up the pitch, surely. Everton have always played on a small pitch. Wait till they're on a wider pitch. Yep. Wait till it's winter. And fans going down the docks. Honestly, it's Baltic down there. It's absolutely Baltic down there. Isak stands it up. Gordon. Cleared away. No, come on. Arteta is class. I think Arteta's done a very good job at Arsenal, but he's coming under a lot of pressure from the fans at the minute. He's coming under a lot of pressure because he's not won anything. He's won one FA Cup in 6 years, whatever it's been. So Arsenal fans want more. There's not much more can be said. Here's Gordon, great run. Brighton win it back. Go straight through to the keeper. 46 minutes. If you can give a like and a share, guys, if you're in the page, if you're on the live watch along on TikTok, if you give it a like, makes a massive difference. And I'm going to be sticking around. Goal Gala. No, don't tell me that. Is it 4-3? Hey, get in there. Is it Osimhen hat-trick? Yeah, so I was going to say, I think with Arteta, he's going to get to the point very, very quickly with Arsenal where he's not won anything. His summer signings from last year haven't really panned out. Marino's made more of an effect at centre-forward than he has in central midfield. So he signed Havertz, he signed Jesus. Both are players that Arsenal fans now want to get rid of. He's brought Sterling to the club. It's been a poor signing. Trossard's about to move on. He's got to accommodate Saka and Nwaneri, both right-sided wide players. He's got to try and accommodate both of them. That's going to be difficult, so he's going to have that problem brewing. And I just think he's, with midfield as well. Midfield is going to be a problem for him. He's going to lose experienced players like Zinchenko, Jorginho. They're going. Thomas Partey is obviously going in the summer on a free. So there's lots of activity at Arsenal this summer, and they're going to have to get it right. And I expect that based on the fact they've not got a director of football at the minute, I don't think they'll get it right. Because it's so important to have a director of football that is lined up perfectly with the manager, and they haven't got one at the minute. So whatever their summer plans are right now, they'll all change when that new director of football comes in. And it can take a long time. Like Liverpool, I firmly believe right now that Liverpool already know who they're going to buy in the summer, and they've already got eyes on who it is. They've already made contact with the clubs. They've already made contact with the player via agents and all this. They've already made moves. Liverpool work that way, and have always worked that way. Arsenal haven't got a director of football, so they've no idea who they're going to buy at this moment in time. It's going to be tough for them to get who they want. What do you think on Southern clubs being a deadbeat when winning trophies? I don't know. Arsenal, Chelsea, West Ham won the Conference League. Some very, very good clubs in the south. Wouldn't say all Southern clubs are dead. I'm being dead serious. I think Eddie Howe is better than Arne Slot. I fully believe. I'm being dead serious. Honestly, Caleb, how is Eddie Howe better than Arne Slot? Again, good manager, but he's not better than Arne Slot. Brighton recruitment is a joke. Selling Caicedo for 110 million and getting Belieber. Wow, yeah. I mean, they sold Cucurella for, 60 million quid and went and got a Stupinan for like 20. It was the same sort of thing. They've done it for ages. They've done it for ages. I mean, to be honest, the player who the Brighton player who retired, do you remember him, Wepu? Enoch and Wepu. He was fantastic at Brighton. Obviously had to retire because of the heart condition, but he would have been a fantastic player as well. I remember him scoring a worldie at Anfield, and Brighton would have had a couple of players in that midfield. If not for him retiring, they would have had a couple of incredible midfielders in there. Bissouma, Bissouma was a great player for Brighton. They've got a knack of signing very, very talented players, especially in that midfield. But yeah, the recruitment is fantastic. It's a very well-run club, top to bottom. Kane, United needs system players to world-class players, kind of like Klopp when he first went into Liverpool. Yeah. I mean, when Klopp went into Liverpool, the very first thing he did was, he said, do you see that that record signing you've got there up front, who's barely played for us? The club only signed him 3 months before Klopp came in, Christian Benteke. Klopp immediately came in and said, I don't want him. And it was really harsh on Benteke, actually, because, I mean, he wasn't fantastic when he first came in, but like immediately as soon as Klopp came in, Klopp just made it very clear, I don't want you. I need something different from my centre forwards. So, here's Brighton. Brighton are in. Mitoma pulls it back. João Pedro, I think the chance has gone there now. Stupinan, ball in, good bot. Oh, cleared away by Newcastle. And now Anthony Gordon on the chase. Well done, very well done by Brighton. He signed Oxlade-Chamberlain and Lallana. Yes, yeah, Lallana was... I don't know if he did sign Lallana, actually. Did he sign Lallana? Or was Lallana already there? I think Lallana was already at the club, You might be right. Something tells me he was already at the club. Yeah, he was already at the club. I knew he was. Yeah, Brendan Rodgers signed Lallana. I'd be questioning myself there. But Oxlade-Chamberlain he did. He wanted energy, he wanted legs, and Lallana was a very delicate player. Very delicate player, could play, in the hole behind the striker, but he didn't have enough pace a lot of the time. Very clever player, I liked him a lot. But Oxlade-Chamberlain, if he didn't get injured, Oxlade-Chamberlain was sensational. Absolutely sensational player. Brighton! I tell you what, Newcastle creating problems of their own here. What year did Mane sign? He signed the first year that Klopp came in. That was who he wanted. Benteke went, and Mane immediately came in. I mean, admittedly, Mane played wide left. But what he did was, we signed Benteke, having already had... If you remember how important Roberto Firmino was to Klopp, Firmino was already at the club. He was the player who was identified by, I think it was Edwards. Was Edwards already there? Our director of football said, this is a player Liverpool should be building their front three around. We signed him from Hoffenheim, Firmino. He came in, and Brendan Rodgers didn't have a clue how to use him. He ended up playing him out wide. He played him in midfield. He didn't really know what to do with Roberto Firmino, and he kept trying to put Benteke as a centre forward. Brighton are in. Oh, cleared away. Jesus Christ, Newcastle living very dangerously here now. Very dangerously. Yeah, he signed Mane in I think it was 2015 or 2016. Southampton used to be like Brighton. Can't remember the last big player they sold. Probably Van Dijk. Oh, Karol Mitoma's just sliced one away. Decent chance for Brighton. They're certainly putting on the pressure here. Southampton. I remember when Southampton had Pella. Who did they have up front? They had Pella. They had Osvaldo. They had some cracking players, Southampton, at times, didn't they? Do you think Mitoma is better than Trossard? Yes, Caleb. Yeah. I think Trossard is one of them players who... he's just a decent squad player. He shouldn't be anywhere near the starting 11 of a team in the top 4. So I reckon I could name you 10 wide players better than Trossard. Maybe even more than that. Right, here we go. Newcastle making several changes here. Looks like Lewis Miley's coming off for Bruno Guimaraes. Okay. Is it Shah coming on as well? And Willock's coming on. Joe Linton's gone off. Willock is on. So that's 2 changes in midfield. And who's that one coming off? Harvey Barnes coming off for Murphy. Right, okay. So 2 extra midfielders on and Murphy coming on for Barnes. That's another player Brighton sold. Trossard, yeah. Yeah. The thing is, I think João Pedro will go in that list very soon as well. João Pedro is probably another one that Brighton will sell for decent money in the years to come. Because he could kick on. He could be maybe next season's Matheus Cunha, couldn't he? If he starts playing as we know he can. He's a very intelligent player, João Pedro. Mitoma with the ball across, cleared away. Pedro was the record signing, then Rutter this season. Yep. Rutter, I don't think he's done enough, has he, really? Don't think he's done enough. I think Martinelli is better than Anthony Elanga. I think the league table, the stats would tell you different. Martinelli's got 6 goals, 3 assists. Elanga, where's Elanga? Elanga's got 3 goals, 8 assists. So Elanga's by far the more creative out of the 2. Martinelli probably gets more chances to score, and that's unsurprising given how Forest play. But personally, I would rather have Elanga than Martinelli. Both about the same age though, aren't they? They're both, 22, 23? So they've still got plenty of time to develop. But I would argue that Elanga's had a better season than Martinelli. Oh, Kasim Passa 3. Galatasaray 3. Brighton have got another big chance here. Ah. They've definitely not started fast, Newcastle, in this second half. They've struggled since they've come out. They've given the ball away in dangerous positions. And do you know what? I'm going to take that into the thing tonight, into the chat tonight. I'm going to do another live where we talk about the team of the season with a twist. And the amount of people who gave me stick for not having Bruno Guimaraes in my midfield. I'm going to tell him, I'm going to remind him of what he was like when he came on the pitch. I know he's only been on a couple of minutes, but he's given the ball away a few times straight away. I think Jared Bowen is better than Mbeumo. Jared Bowen's a very good player, but I don't think he's better than Mbeumo. I know which player I would rather have at Liverpool, and it ain't Jared Bowen. But hey, to each their own. Gallagher ain't the bank as they used to be. I know, tell me about it. Hey mate, I've got frigging Partizan Belgrade this afternoon and everyone. Oh, Newcastle in again. Good ball, cleared away by Brighton. Luckily I had draw no bet, so I had draw no bet on Galatasaray, so they've not knocked me down. I had RZ Alkmaar this morning. Same here, Ajax just needed Gala. Yeah, I had RZ Alkmaar against Herenveen this morning. Don't know why I backed RZ, because they were crap in the KMVB Beaker, the cup the other day. They played, who was it? Heracles Almelo in the cup, and they only just went through on penalties. They were dreadful. So I don't really like backing the Dutch league as a general rule. Oh, and Brighton are in behind again here. Jacob Murphy. Ah, unlucky. Karu Matoma gives it away. But Newcastle just keep on giving it away. Let's see who else I've got live right now. Real Madrid absolutely killed me last night, getting beat against Besiktas. Absolutely destroyed me. Is that a yellow card? Do you know what? If Belieber's just clearly dragged back that Newcastle player then, and he's already on a yellow card, it's things like that that irritate me. I think if you're a Newcastle fan watching that, that has to be a yellow card for Belieber. That has to be a yellow card. I think Anthony Gordon's better than Doku all day. Feyenoord as well. Feyenoord drew, didn't they? Was it 0-0? I always do. I think I did Feyenoord draw. Not draw no bet, because they were too low odds. I think I did double chance Feyenoord. And six or fewer goals in the game. And evidently it didn't come off because it finished 0-0, I think, didn't it, Feyenoord? Am I having a roast tonight? No, I'm not having a roast tonight. My missus is... I don't know what she's doing for tea, actually. I don't know. We've got a bit of lamb in. We have got a little bit of diced lamb in. So could maybe do something with that. Love a bit of lamb. Good ball in, cleared away. And now Newcastle putting up the pressure. This is going to go to penalties, this, I'm telling you. This is going to penalties. Make a stew with that. Yeah, could do. To be honest, I'd probably... I don't know, it's up to her, really, because she's going to be doing it while I'm watching this. But, yeah, maybe steam some veg. And here we go. Kieran Trippier. Oh, he's blew it. This is a good game now, this second half. It was shocking in the first half, but it's been a much, much better second half. Minter's breaking forward. He's got João Pedro in the middle. Cuts inside. That's got to be a foul, ref. That's so poor from Anthony Taylor. That's so poor. I mean, at least he's consistent, because he should have sent a Brighton player off a few minutes ago. I I just ordered 60 quid's worth of meat from the butchers on a keto diet. I do that every week, Kane. Not the keto diet, although I probably should do the keto diet. With the epilepsy, it's the best thing. But I order like 70, 80 quid's worth a week from fresh meat packs. I don't know if anyone knows. They're not no sponsorship or anything, but they're always really, really good. They're from Bury. There are butchers near Bury, and they do like fresh packs of meat every single, and they post them out to you. Fantastic, really, really good quality stuff. So if anyone is looking for anything like that, crack on. I don't get anything for it, but you know, just in case you are looking for anything like that. United Fulham score prediction, Dan. Probably 2-1. I said 2-1 both games. I wish I'd have gone for 2-1. I said Brighton to win 2-1 in this and Fulham to win 2-1 in that. Are you ordering from the same butchers because they're both in Bury? It might be. Yeah, it's called, if you go onto the website, it's called Fresh Meat Packs, and they run a butchers in Bury, and they have another butchers in Bury Meat Market. The Bury Market whenever it is on I don't know if it's open all week or if it's just on a Sunday. But they do very well. They're very popular. They do all sorts. Do you love pork scratchings? I do. I've never had pork scratchings. It's one of the things I've never had. I'm not really a lover of pork, to be honest. Oh, here we go. Must be. Oh, great block. It's a great block, that. Isak's just gone wide from a corner. United need a keeper and striker today. Fancy playing, son. Not got me boots with me. I reckon I'd do alright though as a striker for United. I'd move about a touch more than Højlund. Mate, Glenn Murray would be better than Rasmus. Hey, don't knock Glenn Murray. Glenn Murray was cracking. Great ball in from Gordon. Cleared away. Comes out to Isak. Stand it. How's he missed that? Joe Willock, how's he missed it? Oh, if he connects with that, he's literally... He's in front of the keeper. In the 6-yard area. Nobody around him. Oh, you've had an absolute shocker there. Joe Willock. Oh, and he gets a touch to it, and it's gone straight over his head. He does touch it, he just doesn't get enough on it. That's silly. Absolutely incredible. And he knows, look at him. He knows. Huge chance. Could have won the game for his Joe Pillock. Do you have a dodgy stick? No, it's on ITV, mate. It's on ITV. Don't need a dodgy stick for this. Belieber's going off. I think that's wise because he should have had a red card a few minutes ago. Yeah, just sin Dan. Belieber off before he gets sent off. Right, Minter's coming off as well. And Gruder's coming on. Right, well, let's see. What have we got? Oh, this is going well. This is going very, very well. Partizan Belgrade have won. Victoria Plitzen have won. Dynamo Zagreb have won. Ajax have won. Brighton have got a goal, which is all I needed. I just need Fulham to qualify. I'm on here. I'm on for a result here. I need Inter Miami to get a goal tonight against Houston Dynamo. Could do with Olympiacos getting a draw or more away to Athens. and Steaua Bucharest to get a result in the Bucharest derby tonight. Ajax and Dynamo ain't finished yet. No, I know they aren't, but they're near enough. They're there or thereabouts. I only need a draw, and they're both winning. So, I always do draw, or I always do double chance. So, opinions on set-piece coaches. Couldn't give a monkeys, Dan. Couldn't give a monkeys. I think they should be staying on the bench where they belong. Matt Target on, they should be scared. But Partizan Belgrade have won. FM no casuals. There's some hope for me. I've even got Galatasaray dropping. That's fine, but mate, the Arsenal and Villa ones are so annoying. Oh no, tell me about it. Celebrating every time there's a goal off a set piece, like they've won the World Cup. Oh, Brighton. Newcastle are closer to winning the league than Arsenal. I think they might be after this summer. This is why I think Arsenal. It was a pivotal season for Arsenal this season, because if they didn't get this season right and they didn't win anything, they know that a big chunk of their squad is leaving and they have to replace them, and that always creates a completely different balance in the team. Jorginho's leaving, Partey's leaving, Trossard wants to leave, Sterling's going to go, Saliba potentially to Real Madrid. You know, Havertz, Jesus, they're quite obviously not first choice anymore, so at least one of them will leave if they want to bring in a new centre-forward. Caleb, I've got a question. Do you think Prime Hazard would be better than Prime Salah? It's not. No, I don't even think it's a good question, mate. No disrespect to you, but I don't think the question, like, that's like asking me, is Prime Jacob Murphy better than Prime Hazard, Prime Messi? Like, it's just, Hazard is not even in the same zone as Salah. He just isn't in the same zone. He's a very, very good player on the eye at times, and he scored some wonderful goals for Chelsea. But to me, just I'd put him in the same league as maybe like Ginola. Ginola was lovely to watch as well. There's some fantastic players like that, wide players who you watch and you thought, wow, great, you know, moved, glided about the pitch elegantly. But it was always a little bit style over substance, I always thought, with Hazard. Always a little bit style over substance. If they keep their players and sign a centre-back, centre-mid and a right winger, they're going to be close. They do, yeah, definitely need a right winger, definitely need a centre-back, and they need to keep hold of Isak and Gordon and get Botman back fit. And they need a keeper as well. They need a keeper, don't they? If Newcastle was to go and get someone like Kelleher, or there's rumours obviously linking him to Trafford at Burnley, João Pedro for Brighton, good turn. Must be corner to Brighton. I think Saka is better than Hazard, to be fair. Saka's still early in his career. He's a very good player. And I like Saka, but I wouldn't put him in the same category as Salah. This is the thing, like when you look at all the statistics, every statistic that matters, he's broke every record going, and like whenever you see a player pop up on Twitter and it's like, this player has had X amount of goals and X amount of shots on target, or X amount of assists and Y amount of big chances created and all this stuff, all the metrics that really matter to players in those attacking positions, and then it always finishes with the same line: only Mo Salah has more. And it's like, it's just a running joke now. Salah has more than everyone. You know, he's in the Messi and Ronaldo leagues of creation, and scoring as well. He's both of them. He creates and scores in equal measure. I think he's in that Henry zone of has to be in the greatest Premier League team of all time. I loved Henry and I love watching Salah. So for me, they've got to both be in there. Gotta go. Catch you later. All right, Caleb, take it easy, mate. For United fans, Salah best right wing in Premier League history. Yeah, I think that's fair to say. And I loved watching Cristiano Ronaldo at United as well. But I think the sheer consistency of Salah and the fact that he's done it at Liverpool, who they weren't a good team when Salah arrived. We were an okay team. We were just an okay team. And he just kicked us on. And we've won everything we've won because of Salah and Van Dijk, for a large part anyway. Those two signings made a massive, massive difference. Shot from Brighton, just over the bar. Ronaldo 2008 was unbelievable. Yeah. That was the only reason we lost the league in 2008 for me. That season with Ronaldo up front for United with Tevez and Rooney. Oh, I hated it. I absolutely hated it. We had one good game and we battered you 4-1 at Old Trafford. And then, you know, we kept dropping points. We drew at Middlesbrough and stuff like that. We drew a lot of games. United were just relentless up front. Just an unbelievable team, that front three. That's probably my favourite United side of all time, I have to say. The side that I most liked watching. Because I just thought they were brilliant going forward. Ronaldo, Tevez, Rooney. You had Scholes, Carrick, and either Hargreaves or sometimes Anderson or sometimes Giggs in midfield or sometimes Park in midfield. And then you had the defence. You had Vidic and Ferdinand. Gary Neville. He was still there. Fantastic side. Very, very good side. And now you've got, Højlund, Xerxes, Garnacho. It's such a fall. And the crazy thing is, those three have cost an awful lot of money as well. Maybe not Garnacho, but you know what I mean. It cost an awful lot of money. Did you see Cavani miss? Cavani, what, for Boca? I haven't seen Cavani's miss for Boca, no. I did see that Boca beat Rosario the other night, but I haven't seen any highlights from it. Missed an open net, bloody hell. He's getting on though, isn't he? He's getting on. Saw River Plate got beat by Estudiantes as well last night. Some big results in the in South America. Saw Palmeiras went through in the cup, and it's Corinthians and Santos tonight in the Copa. When I think of the Premier League, I think of Rooney, Salah, De Bruyne, Aguero, Hazard, Sanchez. See, I think my era of the Premier League would probably be more like, oh, here we go, Brighton have got a great chance here. It's just to come all the way out. Here's Gruder. Got to take it. No, he's messed about with it a bit too much. I think the chance is gone. Can you imagine if Rio and Van Dijk played together? I think that would have been a very, very pacey, high line. But I think Van Dijk needed someone like... Oh, now that might be a pen to Brighton. That might be a pen. That might be a pen. I can't believe he's not going to even look at that. I think he might get a pen here for this, Brighton. As he comes in, watch this. That's a penalty. That's a penalty. I tell you what. Oh, that's a pen. If there's VAR, that's a penalty. If there's VAR in this, it's a pen. All day, every day. I'm sorry. Are you going to give it? There's a substitution coming on it. I tell you what. If he doesn't give this... Are we actually not going to look at that? I am astonished if he doesn't give this as a penalty. I'm gobsmacked here. I'm absolutely gobsmacked. There is VAR. There is VAR, Kane. We already saw that yesterday with Crystal Palace and Millwall, because the referee didn't give the red card, and then the referee went over to the touchline, watched it, and came back on and gave the red card against the Palace keeper. There is VAR, and they've cleared that somehow. Does that make any sense to anyone? I've no horse in the race. I've no skin in the game. I'm not a Newcastle fan, not a Brighton fan. I don't care. As an independent watcher of the game, I am astonished that that is not a penalty. Absolutely astonished. And I've got to say, I called earlier in the game that I think Belieber should have been sent off. So, I'm not being biased against Newcastle here. I think the referee's been pretty poor. And that is another incredibly poor decision. That's really bad. That's an absolute stonewaller. The ball is up in the air. The Newcastle player jumps up, kicks the Brighton player, gets none of the ball, kicks the Brighton player, kicks through the Brighton player, and the Brighton player goes down. To me, it's a pen. I just don't understand. I don't think I know what I don't even think I know what a penalty is anymore. Then, if that's not a pen. Do you think United beat Sociedad? Well, I've backed Sociedad or draw. I think for the first leg. I think once United get them back to Old Trafford, then there might be a question mark over that and what happens, because Old Trafford's always on a European night, bouncing under the lights and all that. Maybe they could turn it round, but I think going to Sociedad's going to be tough. Oh, Anthony Gordon's gone down. He's claiming a penalty. I don't think that one is. If that one was given, Christ, that one, no chance. And Brighton are on the counter-attack. Good ball. Oh, just let themselves down at the final chance. Who is better, prime Ryan Giggs or prime Salah? I think Ryan Giggs. This is being checked. Oh, Kane. Don't tell me that. If that's being checked and it's given, this is laughable. It's absurd. The fact that even got checked is laughable. That's ridiculous. No. Anthony Gordon's holding on to him. That's not it. Ali McCoyster's just said it himself. That's not a penalty whatsoever. It wasn't even... Oh, yeah. Yeah, come on. Clean. Yeah, of course it is. You div. It's been declared as mutual holding. Well, what was that in the opposition box? Because that wasn't mutual or consensual. It was a clear kick. Unbelievable. Who is better, prime Ryan Giggs or prime Salah? I think Giggs. No, it's Salah, mate. It is Salah. It's absolutely Salah. Scraps. Are we scrapping? Anthony Gordon loves a scrap. Here we go. Oh, there's a red out here. There's a red out. Someone's going. He's gone. Is it Isaac? Or is it Gordon? He's just sent someone off. I think it might have been Gordon. Let's have a look. Gordon not too happy with the pull from earlier on. He's offside, so I'm not quite sure what's happening, but Gordon. Oh, yeah. There's a little bit of an afters there from Anthony Gordon. Yeah, it's a red. Yeah, no, that's a red all day. That's silly. He just like that. He's two-fisted in the back of his head. Yeah, that's a red. Yeah, that's no danger at all. Absolutely no danger at all. That's a clear red. Silly from Claire Balding. Sorry, Anthony Gordon, I mean. Sorry. Silly. Very silly from Shirley, from EastEnders. I tell you what, I know I'm one to talk, but that is some wig that Anthony Gordon has got on his head. Dr. Eggman giving reds. That is an absolute barnet of Anthony Gordon. Gordon gets away with so much as well, but that was just silly. That, like, he's really let his team down there. He's now got... Look at him, he's gone over to the FA, to the fourth official, shaking his head, but I'm sorry, that's as clear a red card as you're likely to see. Jason, yeah. It's not going to get overturned. They can appeal it, but there's no way that's getting overturned. He double fists him in the back of his head. He on glue. Here we go. Callum Wilson about to come on. That's a bold move from Eddie Howe. That's a very bold move from Eddie Howe. Come on, Luis Figo is better than Salah. That is easy. Nah. Isak's going off. Looks like an injury to Isak. Yeah, Luis Figo's not better than Salah, mate. He isn't. Luis Figo was very, very good at Barca. Maybe not so much at Real. He didn't do as well at Real. And he didn't really do all that well at Inter Milan. But he was a good player at Barca. I remember Figo getting a pig's head chucked at him. Got a pig's head chucked at him when he played for Real at Barca, didn't he? Famously. Here we go. Brighton on the attack here. Don't know why the Newcastle fans are booing. No idea why the Newcastle fans are booing. It's a very clear red card, and they're lucky that they didn't get a penalty given against them. So, you know, swings and roundabouts. Be thankful that you're still in with the game. So it's 11 against 10 here. Last 10 minutes. Brighton flying down the side. It's a corner to Brighton. Very, very big chance here for them to reach the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. And there you go, ball into the box. Hinchelwood, great shot, comes all the way out. Oh, Mitoma volley. It's getting very bitty now. This is going to be a really big finish, isn't it? Really tense finish. There are a bunch of W words, Newcastle fans. What, winners? Winner! I wouldn't have thought you'd have felt so strongly about it, Kane, aren't you? You're from that part of the world, aren't you? Do you align yourself more with the Mackhams or the, you know, are you a Borough? I don't know. I can't detect the accent, so I couldn't tell you. I'm from Sunderland. All right, okay. Here we go. Ball into the box. Oh, must be Brighton. Oh, it's getting desperate from Newcastle. Very desperate. Lamptey just over the bar. I'm near Newcastle, support West Ham, prefer Newcastle fans over Mackhams. People say I'm from Birmingham. Can't stand Newcastle or Sunderland fans, to be honest. Listen, they're all people, I suppose. I mean, some Liverpool fans who do my head in, some United fans who do my head in. They're just people at the end of the day. But one of my mates is from Sunderland. Well, he's not from Sunderland. He's from, where was it he was from? Seaham. Is it Seaham? Is that a place near Sunderland? From up around that way, Seaham. And yeah, he was a big Sunderland fan. FM, you support West Ham. You an Iron? I didn't know you was an Iron, mate. Dan, Millwall fans are classy. Yeah, that was rough. Yeah, I'm from Seaham. All right, okay. Ericsson starting in the 10. Is he really? That's going to be interesting. Dad is, so you know school was tough. Mazraoui and the fraud at wing back. Dorgu! Oh no, Dorgu's out and he's suspended. Let's have a look. Dallo, Delict, Maguire, Mazraoui, Yoro. Alright, okay, and then you've got Ugarte, Fernandez, Ericsson. Surely that's... And then Xerxes and Hoyland up front. Surely that'll be Ericsson and Ugarte sitting deep then, won't it, Kane? With Fernandez in the 10. Be interesting. We'll see, won't we? I would have thought that it would have been the opposite way. It would have been Ericsson sitting deeper alongside... alongside Ugarte. But maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I absolutely concede that. Fulham have got a good lineup. Very good lineup out there. Iwobi, Lukic and Pereira in midfield with Traore. Oh, it's another yellow and it's a second yellow. And a red card for... Oh, Tariq Lamptey. Two teams, both down to 10 men. Tariq Lamptey's just got rid of Brighton's advantage. Man advantage. It was a silly, silly tackle. Let's just have a look. Yeah, it's too... You can't do that. It's sloppy. Sloppy play. Very sloppy. Xerxes and Bruno behind Hoyland. Yeah, I would think so. His little legs couldn't reach him, bless him. Right, there you go. 2 men, 10 men now. 10 men, 10v10. Lots more space on the pitch. Was waiting for Anthony Gordon to score for 25 quid. Oh, God. Right, here we go. We're into the last few minutes now. Ball into the box. There you go. Oh, is that it? Is it Shah? Is he on? Is he onside? Oh, Fabian Schär. There you go. 2-1 Newcastle. I tell you what, if that counts. Is he onside? Brighton are claiming here. There's a question mark. There's a real question mark over whether or not this counts. Ooh, let's just see. Let's just see. Ah, he's off. I think he's off. I think he's off. He's off. That's off. He's miles off. Miles off. That's not even close. Miles offside. Thank God for that. It's a lovely finish. Again, a very good finish, but he's miles off. Miles offside. It's sad, isn't it? It's really sad that that's what football has come to. That, like, a last-minute winner like that, everyone's now looking around at each other like, ooh, is it a goal, is it not? And now we know it's not. And do you know what the mad thing is? You and, like, look, us lot in the chat, right? We've just looked at this, haven't we? We've just looked at it. We can see within seconds, not even within seconds, a millisecond, you can see straight away it's offside. This is going to take minutes. We've got an automated offside, apparently, which should make it very, very quick to tell. I guarantee you this takes at least 2 minutes. It's not tight. Why are you saying it's tight? It's not tight. He's miles off. Of course he's offside. Why are we even debating it? It's not even close. He's offside. Here we go. Anthony Taylor's voice over the PR system. Indirect free kick. David Coote has to draw his lines. I don't get how it takes him so long when it's obvious. It's so obvious in it. It's just mad how it takes this long. Let's have a look. Right, so he's. Why are they saying that's how close it is? Like it's still close. It's his full body, his head, and most of his body is offside. Right, well here we go. Brighton. Oh, it's a throw into Brighton. There's a minute left of normal time, and you would imagine probably another 2 or 3 minutes of injury time. Fourth officials just screamed in Fabian Hürzeler's face, pointing up to the stands and saying, "You're going up there if you don't, chill out." Giving lots of grief, but it looks like we're going to extra time here, and we might have to be careful for the Man United Fulham game, because as it stands, this one's going for another half hour. Brighton are in. It's lovely play. Oh! Good tackle. Right. So 4:30, the United game starts, and this is probably going to go for another half an hour, and then maybe penalties. So the chances are I'm not even going to change the stream. I might just have to take the stream down and go. Kane, no, the draw is tomorrow after the Forest game. Forest play Ipswich tomorrow night, and that's the last one. Did you see Doherty's penalty miss yesterday? Yeah, it was about far. It was like that far wide, wasn't it? He was miles wide. If you're hoping the games are going to get better today than not. I don't know. I think Fulham are going to win. This is very much on a knife edge, this one. Alright, here we go. Sure. Oh, it's a wonderful ball. Just a bit heavy from Bruno Guimaraes. Just a little bit too heavy. Unlucky. Just got called Bruno Gum Disease. I mean, look, there's two ways you can look at it, mate, can't you? Look at it as people being creative, and then ultimately it's all getting you likes and hits and all that sort of stuff. So, you just stay calm with it, mate. You're doing good stuff. Very good content. I really enjoy it. And again, yeah, the comments. People coming up with all sorts, so it all helps you out in the long run. Oh, it's good play. It's really good play. Ah, well done. Very well done, Newcastle. Eddie Howe just gives me PE teacher vibes. My only issue with VAR is it was supposed to check clear errors, not look to cancel every goal. Yeah, I know, but the thing is, VAR in part was brought in to try and create a level playing field, because owners became reluctant to invest loads of money into the Premier League if they felt that there was any element of corruption. They wanted very clear decisions and clear criteria on decisions. And it feels like with VAR, it's come in and everyone expected VAR to just remove all any sort of issues with VAR, and evidently it hasn't. It's just, it's made it worse, because now everyone thinks that there's no like split decisions in football anymore. Oh yeah, it'll just be dead straightforward. When actually there's still loads of decisions which are questionable. Like that one in the I can't believe that wasn't given as a penalty. The Brighton penalty has to be a penalty. I just don't understand how it's not. I love some of the comments, man. Like you say, it's just showing creativity, and it helps you out in the end of the day. So don't try and take it personally. If you're Man United, who would you want to win out of this game? Out of this game? I don't know. I don't think I'd care if I was a Man United fan, because I think either of these... I mean, United have beat Newcastle in a cup final. Brighton have beat United at Old Trafford, so I guess on that basis you'd probably... But then again, Newcastle have beat United at Old Trafford this season. Both of these sides have beat United, so I don't think United will be overly worried about who wins it. United will be focused on trying to get through against Fulham, and that's going to be hard enough. Oh, excuse me. Right, well, I want Brighton to win. I do too, mate. I do too. Here's Rubes. Here's Rubes, our resident Brighton fan. So you should, Caleb. Great team. I think you're playing quite well, aren't you? I'm surprised. Lamptey dives in like that and makes it level, but as a United fan, I hope Port Vale go through. Yeah, I think Brighton have done all right, especially in the second half. And Newcastle probably can consider themselves slightly unlucky to not have... They've had 2 goals disallowed. Lamptey needs to be sold. Yeah, that was a silly tackle from him. Really silly. Especially when Newcastle are in such a position where Brighton, you know, you've got an extra man, you're going into the last few minutes, you got extra time to come, and he just dives in like that. It's so silly. Give you 5 million for him, swap deal for Delo. Chuck a bag of chips and you can have Shaw as well. And Malassia for some curry sauce. I don't think they do curry sauce in Brighton, do they? Isn't that like a thing? Don't they do... They don't really do... not condiments, I guess. But yeah, gravy, curry, mushy peas. They don't really do that in the chippies down south. That offends me. Whenever I've ever been to a chippy down south, and I've not been to many chippies down south, admittedly, despite how I look. Yeah, it's always been a major problem finding somewhere that has curry sauce. You don't want to know what curry sauce means down in Brighton. Well, again, I don't know. I've never actually been to... Have I been to Brighton? I think I have been to Brighton, but only in passing. But yeah, pretty much anywhere down south along that south coast. Where was it I went? Was it Lewis? I went to Lewis. Lewis I was in, which is near Brighton-ish. And the chippies there weren't great for curry sauce and mushy peas and gravy and whatever. Whereas if you come to a chippy up north, you come to somewhere nice like a Chipmunk or somewhere like that, you get curry sauce, Chinese curry sauce or English curry sauce, mushy peas. You can have gravy. You can have English gravy or Chinese gravy in some places. There's lots of different types. We love dipping. What is a chipmunk? A chipmunk is like a chain of chippies around the north. Well, I don't know if it's around the northwest. It's certainly around like St Helens, Widnes, Wigan, Warrington, that area. That's where I'm from, anyway. Sort of Merseyside, Lancashire, in and around that area. We have the best chippies. Good chips, good pies. High on heart disease. Good chips, good pies. Massive BMI. But admittedly, you know, where wolves are from. That's it. Yeah, I'm a wool. I was born in Liverpool. I didn't stay in Liverpool very long, but I was born in Liverpool. Raised as a wool. Firmly called a wool throughout my formative years in puberty and growing up through school. We have food poisoning chippies here. Do you know what I want to go and try? What's that? What's that thing that they have in? Oh, is it in Newcastle or is it in York or Hull? Is it Hull? And it's like chicken, like a fried piece of chicken with cheese on. Something. What's it called? That? Oh, that's going to do me head in. I'm sure it's a delicacy in York or Hull. A parmo. That's it. Chicken parmo. Livramento, Newcastle. Stands it. Must be. Clears away by Brighton. Yeah, that's like a proper thing in the northeast, isn't it? A breaded chicken cutlet or pork cutlet topped with a white bechamel sauce and cheese, usually cheddar. Often called a Teesside parmesan. Oof. I always find that local things, the local delicacy is always a bit dodge. I remember going to Liverpool v Porto in the Champions League, right? I went to Porto in I think it was in like November, something like November, and it was freezing in the middle of Portugal. And I can't tell you how grim this delicacy is. When we got there, they was like, oh, you must try the local thing. It's amazing. Ball in, must be. Good save by Brighton. You must try the local thing. They said it's called a Francesinha. Francesinha. I was like, what is it? And he said, the way he described it to me was basically a ham sandwich. Ham and cheese toasty. That's what he said. It's a ham and cheese toasty with an extra layer of cheese on the top layer. And then they pour this gravy over it. And I was like, that sounds well nice. I'll have a bit of that. And it was vile. It was absolutely vile. Now, maybe I just went into the wrong place. Maybe in a different part of Porto, the Francesinha is lovely because they all eat them. But where I went, the Francesinha was minging. What a game this has been. Yeah, and it has been a good game, hasn't it? It's been very interesting. Hashduk split equaliser against Dynamo Zagreb 2-2. Francesinha, yeah. Our local delicacy is Greggs. I can't eat Greggs. Again, I know you wouldn't necessarily tell that by the look of me, but Greggs just ruins me for days. It's like eating lead. It just feels like you get stomachache, crippling stomachache for days with Greggs. That's how I feel anyway. We don't have a local delicacy over here. It's our houses from Thieves. Our houses from Thieves. It's from Newcastle upon Tyne. Greggs, is it? Didn't know that. I'm glad I'm not only one about Greggs. Greggs just, yeah. Like, I've been to Greggs a few times. Not even just for, Like the sausage rolls and stuff like that, I don't mind. They're okay. But I used to go, when I worked in Liverpool city centre, there was always a sort of a clamour from the people in the office who I worked with. When I was the sales manager, and I always tried to go and get my sales team some breakfast in the morning if they'd had a good week. Like, I'd always say, oh, what do you want? We'll go and get a breakfast from Greg's. And I'd go and get them like a sausage and egg butty or sausage and egg baguette or bacon and egg or whatever they wanted. And it was horrendous. It always went straight through you. Not to be colourful, but it wasn't great. Here we go. Brighton are in again. Chance. Oh, straight through to the keeper. Have you tried a stotty? A stotty cake. I've heard of a stotty cake, but only from Ant and Dec. I don't actually know what one is. Yeah, started in Gosforth in Newcastle. Wow, okay. Yeah, no, I've never tried a stotty cake. There's another. What's the other thing that it's big in Stoke? What do people in Stoke have? I used to work with someone from Stoke, and they used to always go mad about it. Oat cakes. Try and yeah, oat cakes. That was a thing. And I was like, "What's an oat cake?" And he was like, "Oh, it's this. We have them sweet. Like some people have them sweet oat cakes, and other people have them with like cheese and egg and sausage in." And I was like, "Is it just bread?" And it was. I don't know what it is exactly, but have a look at it. Stoke and oat cakes. Let me Google it, see if I can get them up. Stoke oat cakes. There you go. Staffordshire oat cake. They're like pancakes. I don't know if you can see that. Like pancakes. You probably can't actually, looking at it. It's a type of dense, savoury pancake made from oatmeal, flour and yeast, cooked on a griddle. It's a local specialty in the North Staffordshire area, locally called oat cakes. But yeah, people have them with different stuff in. I could probably do that as a channel. That'd be a cool channel, wouldn't it? Little bit of trying the local thing from every British town. You know, Rate My Takeaway's done all right. Rate My Takeaway's done all right doing out of actual takeaways. But what if we just went to local places and tried the local thing? I could go to Wigan and get pea wet. Tell me if you've never been to Wigan and they do this thing called pea wet. That's like unbelievable. Pea wet is incredible. That is a proper local delicacy. Thinking about it, I've never known anywhere else in the country to have pea wet, or as they call it, pay wet. It's basically just the green water that you get off the bottom of peas. So they just literally put get a little tub of chips, put some chips in, and then they get like this. I guess it's just a scooper that they lift green water out and just drizzle green water all over your chips. Brighton, oh, chance. It's cleared away again. Another chance for Brighton, must be. Oh, corner, claim for a handball. It's all Brighton now. It is all Brighton. They're absolutely flying. It's wonderful. It's a pass up to the edge of the area. It's a good save from Dubravka. Drilled across and cleared away by, I think it's Shah. And then it comes out to Matt Weaver. That's handball. That's handball. He's got to give a pen for that. Is he not giving a pen? It hits his hand and it's going on goal. How are you not giving a pen for that? Oh, I don't understand what handball means anymore. I don't understand what handball means anymore. If that isn't a penalty, I'm sorry, I don't understand. I have no idea what handball means. Absolutely none. It's a shot that is goal bound. It is going towards goal and it hits him in the hand. How is that? Clean in the hand as well. It's a clear handball. That is madness. Is that 2 clear pens now? Yes. It is 2 incredibly clear penalties that Brighton should have had. If Newcastle somehow scramble through, in this game, there's no justice. Absolutely none at all. Still 1-1. We're into extra time. 10 minutes of extra time gone. Taylor's a Crystal Palace fan. Well, allegedly he's an Altrincham fan. So, it's good play from Brighton, and they've got a chance here. They've pushed Newcastle up. Big chance, if they can keep hold of it. Welbeck. Stand it. Oh, that's a good option. No, cleared away by Dan Burn. Brighton come again. It's all Brighton in these last 10 minutes. There's only one side pushing for it. I think Newcastle already playing for pens at this point. Right. We're only on 1k. Can we try and get the likes up to 2k? I want to get some more people in here for the Manchester United Fulham game. I imagine there will be. If we had Dan Burn, we'd be amazing. That's another one who Brighton sold, isn't it? We was talking earlier on, Rubes, about players that Brighton have sold and done really well out of, you know, generated a profit out of. Your Caicedos, your Cucureas, Trossards. Dan Burn's another one. Maybe goes under the radar. Very, very good player. Oh, that's another yellow card. Nah, just a foul. Van Hecker. That is an absolute rugby tackle. He hasn't even played the ball there. He's literally just ran and full on rugby tackled him. That's like Boris Johnson in the... He literally looked like Boris Johnson when he tackled Thingy in Soccer Aid. That's unbelievable. That is unbelievable. Not even a yellow. Yeah. Incredible. Incredible. Thanks for all the likes. If you can reshare, makes a big difference too. Don't feel any pressure to do so, of course. Ball to the back stick. Cleared away by Brighton. Lofted back in. Not really going anywhere. Cleared away by Van Hecker, and Brighton on the counter-attack again now. João Pedro, is he going to get it? He has, and that's a foul, I think, referee. Ooh, it's getting feisty. Getting feisty. Good tackle by Hinchelwood. Oh no, it's Weaver. What a game it is. It's getting very end-to-end now. It's been a good FA Cup game, this. Very good FA Cup game. If Brighton go out, I'm naming Lamptey and Taylor. I mean, Lamptey has let you down, but I think Taylor, it's astonishing. It's absolutely astonishing that he didn't give them 2 penalties. Absolutely astonishing. I would go as far as saying they are 2 of the worst decisions I have seen from any referee in a good while, and I include Michael Oliver's in that from yesterday's against Millwall. That first Brighton penalty, the second one, because it's a handball. Handballs are always a little bit funny, you know. Handballs, sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. I don't know what a handball is anymore. The referees are so inconsistent with it. I couldn't tell you what one is. But the first one, I do know that he flies into him, gets none of the ball, and kicks through the Brighton player. Chance, must be! Oh, João Pedro clears it away! Oh. I'm back, lad. Just went for an hour's gym sesh. Nice. Good lad. I've been sat here for an hour drinking fizzy pop. So thanks for you've done my gym sesh for me. But thank you. I appreciate you coming back. I've got a weight loss channel other than this, because I've lost, believe it or not, even looking at the kip of me, I've lost nearly 3 stone in the last few months. So I'm trying to shift some weight. So I've got a weight loss and a fitness channel as well as this one. 2 Reds, is Michael Oliver in charge? You would think so. But no, it's Anthony Taylor, who's not been much better. He's given some incredibly bad decisions in this game, I've got to say. Some incredibly bad decisions. But we've got Manchester United against Fulham coming up in just a few minutes. And, well, I say it's just a few minutes. 25 minutes, actually. It's half-time in this game. Another 15 minutes to go till pens. And it probably, the way things are going, it's going to be penalties. And then we'll switch straight to Manchester United and Fulham. And I'm going to have to end the stream. I'm going to have to end the stream to restart the Manchester United and Fulham stream. So everyone's going to have to come across with me. Man City v Villa, final for me in the Cup. I'm kind of rooting for an outsider. I'm hoping it's neither of them. 3 stone, mate, fair play, that's class. Well, it's good. It's a start. It's the lightest I've been in many, many years. Because the drugs that I take for the epilepsy, not that I'm blaming that entirely, but the drugs that I have to take for the epilepsy just make you go... You just bang the weight on. It's just one of them things. You bang the weight on, you lose your air. They give you all sorts of rubbish side effects. But they stop you having seizures and they keep you alive, and I can drive and generally do stuff in life. So, swings and roundabouts. But yeah, I've managed to shift 3 stone in the last few months, which has been a massive plus. So I'm just trying to keep up the momentum by doing good stuff and being positive and all that good stuff. One lesson about the gym: don't care what people think unless it's a professional telling you. Yeah, very solid advice, that, mate. Very solid advice. To be honest, I'm thinking of buying a bike. And doing a sort of cycling to and from work in the morning. I'll see. I'm not entirely sure yet. Right, here we go. Just about to kick off for the second half. I go to the gym, absolutely love eating keto diet and going at 5 AM. Taylor gave you guys a good decision. I can't understand what Anthony Taylor's done in this game. He's made some really, really bad decisions. I working in coaching and personal training, doing the quals this year in college. Nice. Love that. Love that. Well, hey, I'm doing my best. I need all the advice I can get. Gordon is suspended for the final. Is he really? Is he really? No, I don't think he is he? Although, yeah, because it's violent conduct, so it's a 2-game ban, isn't it? He is? He's out? No, it's a 3. It's not a 3-match ban, it's only a 2. But that means he misses the next 2 league games, and that would include the cup final. He only needs a 2-match ban to miss the cup final. Liverpool's next 2 domestic games are Southampton and then Newcastle. And we've got PSG, 2 PSG games in between them. So yeah, I think you're right. I go gym at 5 AM, come back, make thumbnails, record videos, edit them, study algorithms and watch footy. Nice. That's a very well planned day. I wish I could have that level of structure, mate. I'm far too disorganised, I think, to have that level of structure. I just tend to graft when I can, I guess. I graft and graft and graft when I can. Keep going, you only live once. Life, that's real advice. Absolutely couldn't agree more. Do whatever you can in life, just whatever makes you happy. Life's too short, so do whatever makes you happy. And what makes me happy, I don't know if it does for you, but what makes me happy is watching footy. So, and obviously family, being with my little girl and stuff, so I like to do both. So with a bit of luck, it's my little girl's birthday in a couple of weeks, so hopefully we can do something nice. Even if that's sniffing the Charlie. Well, that's never been my thing, to be honest, but hey, to each their own. Whatever works for you. I've got plenty of mates who've done that over the years. No judgment, but yeah, not my style. I think with the epilepsy, if I was doing anything like that, I'd be long gone. Ball across, good save. It's behind for a Newcastle corner. Same, but if someone wants to do that, yeah, absolutely. That's it. If someone wants to do it, do whatever makes you happy. It's all good. My little one's 7 weeks old already watching the football. Oh, cracking, mate. Love that, Kane. Makes a massive difference when you've got kids. Changes everything about you. Ball into the box. Good punch from the keeper. Comes all the way out. Cleared away. Block from Brighton. Trippier. And away. Liverpool won 1-0 women's team. To be fair, I don't watch the women's team. I don't really have the time. I watch every men's game going. So I've not watched any women's football for a long time. Who's the best central defensive midfielder in the Prem this season? It's tough to say. Probably Caicedo's up there. Depends what you're looking for. Gravenberg's been really good. Yeah, Gravenberg. Balaba's been very good. I think Caicedo has been good. He's been underrated for Chelsea, but it's tough to say. Liverpool don't play with a centre, sort of like a proper defensive mid. Gravenberg ends up being more of a box-to-box in the way he plays. He sits, but in terms of winning possession back, it's still probably McAllister. I would argue McAllister probably wins the ball back more than Gravenberg does. Even though Gravenberg's average position is probably slightly deeper, he tends to pick up the second balls and carry and drive us forward, whereas McAllister does a lot of the foot-in stuff. Whereas, because Caicedo and Baleba, they are like both of those players in one, to a degree. Oh, Solly March with the run. That's a foul, referee. There you go. Brighton foul. This is going to go to pens. It's going to go to pens, I'm telling you. Right, mate, I'm going to go and watch the game. Catch up with you after. All right, Kane, take it easy, mate. Have a good one. See you after the game. I'll be here in the post-match anyway, so if you fancy coming in after the United-Fulham game, I'll see you then. Take it easy, though, man. Ball in. Good punch away by the keeper. Oh, this is the corner from earlier. After the slaughtering, you mean? Yeah, well, that's why I want you to come back. I want a United fan in the chat. But yeah, no, whatever, mate. Whatever happens, I'll be here. It'll be a good laugh either way. Newcastle got to defend across here. 112 minutes. It's not long left. Are they going to avoid penalties? That's the question. Brighton play it short. Stad to the back stick. Flick on. Newcastle clear easily. Pretty easily. For me, North West are the dominators in the English division. What's your thoughts? Absolutely they are. Well, the North West, you've got Liverpool, City, United. Just them three are the best Premier League teams we've seen over the last, what, 15, 20 years? The last 20 years, who have been the best three Premier League sides? Must be, oh, Newcastle. Oh, tell you what, Newcastle are wasting some chances here. Pressure's coming again from Newcastle. Hope not. Love watching some pens when it's not my team. I know, so do I. But I do want it just to be over, because for two reasons. I am absolutely dying for a piss. And I don't want it to go to pens, because otherwise I've got to stay here until it finishes. Oh! '70s and '80s Liverpool. Everton 90s and noughties. Everton 90s and noughties. Are we on the same page here? Everton in the 90s and noughties were amongst the worst teams we've ever seen. Everton would be dreadful in the 90s and noughties. Welbeck must be. He's done it. It's 2-1 Brighton. What a finish. And there he is. Danny Welbeck 2-1. Oh, get him, Brighton. That is an unbelievable finish. Just came to say Danny Welbeck is king. Yeah, that is a sensational finish. '70s and '80s Liverpool and Everton, '90s and noughties United. Ah, that makes sense. Yeah. And then City in the 2010s. Oh, that's incredible. It's a great ball. He's miles onside. Who is that at the back? Is that Shah? Who plays him onside there? That's an unbelievable finish. Well, I'll tell you what. Danny Welbeck has been a better finisher than Isak today. That finish from Welbeck is insane. It's an incredible finish. Whoever it is who plays him onside, they want sacking. Livramento's done a walker in the Euros. Was it Livramento at the back stick? Oh, that's a great goal from Brighton. And in the last 5 minutes, we've got a massive chance of a shock here. Everyone's come out and he's not. Yeah, it was just sloppy. Just really sloppy. Played them all onside, and Welbeck's got a tap-in. I mean, it's not a tap-in, but you know what I mean? One-on-one with the keeper. He's given up the massive chance there right in the last 5 minutes. And now Newcastle have got to push everything forward in these last 5. And do you know what? It wouldn't rule out Newcastle pinching one. I mean, they've had 2 goals disallowed already, so there's no reason why they couldn't. It's about to be a big finish, this one. One Danny Welbeck. Yes, George. Here we go. Newcastle are in. Chris Willock. Was it Joe Willock? Sorry. Cleared away. Brighton have a good record at St James's Park. Yeah, they do. I mean, to be honest, Brighton have a good record away from home recently. Anywhere. It's their home form that's not been fantastic. A little bit like Fulham, I guess, in the opposite sense, in that Fulham have been pretty good at home and not fantastic away. Going back since lockdown season, yeah. Last few minutes here, Target with the throw in. Fabian Schär stands it up. Callum Wilson to corner to Newcastle. Last few minutes, he's got to send... At this point, I think he's got to send the keeper up. Can't waste opportunities like this. Last few minutes. Who's taking it? Matt Target, left pegger. Here we go. Target swings it in. Comes out to the edge of the area. Must shoot. Dan Burn. Must shoot. Oh, straight across the face of goal. Caught it well. Caught it very, very well. Let's just have a look how close this was. Oh, anyone gets a touch there. Literally anyone, whether it's a Brighton player or a Newcastle player. Yeah, it was quite a bit wide in the end, but should get that on target, I think. It's poor from Dan Burn, but again, you know, ball falls to him there. You don't want it falling to your big centre-half. You want that fall into a Callum Wilson or a, you know... Oh, here we go. Danny Welbeck's done it again. He's in behind. Free kick! Anthony Taylor's... Honestly, they're one of the worst referees going. He needed to use top of his... Yeah. Or even just the side of his foot. He could have just curled it across the face because there was a load of Newcastle players just inside. He could have just quite easily drilled it low across the face. Instead, he kind of did half and half. Then he got caught in two minds. Ended up trying to lace it and stick his foot through it and just drilled it miles wide. That's a long journey for the Brighton fans. We had a few Brighton fans in the chat yesterday talking about how far they were coming to travel up to Newcastle. They'd left very early. I think it was maybe a 7-hour drive, 8-hour drive from Brighton up to Newcastle. So some trip on the coach. So they deserve this. It's going to be a fantastic journey back. Maybe a nice night out in Newcastle. You never know. Here we go. Bruno Guimaraes goes for it. Here we go. They've got a minute left, Newcastle. He does well there. Stands it up. Chance. Tonali, back stick. Oh, that's a foul. That's a foul and a free kick to Brighton with 30 seconds to go. Remember the audio of him giving Duran that red card? Embarrassing. Yeah, I mean, again, I wasn't entirely sure that was a red card from John Duran. Honestly, toe pecking it is the most accurate shot I've used in footy. Yeah, just absolute toe bunger. Footballers don't know how to shoot. What's he done there? You'd think they don't practice all the time through the week, don't you? Sometimes. Right, here we go. Newcastle fans flooding out of St James's Park. 2 minutes left of injury time. We might just be able to have time to switch it over to the Manchester United stream. No need for penalties, thank God, because if it had gone to penalties, I think we would have missed the United game. Here we go. Newcastle with the last chance. Or maybe they might get two. There's 90 seconds left. So they've got to use the ball wisely. Ball in. Here's Willock. Got to stand it up here. Shot. Just wide. Not good enough that. Not good enough that, Willock. Nah, it wasn't a red card in my opinion, but the way he communicated with VAR and his assistants was shambolic. Yeah. George, F the Magpies. So Newcastle now are all in on the Carabao Cup final. And the way they played against Liverpool, with no Anthony Gordon as well now, that's going to be even tougher. Even tougher for Newcastle. No Anthony Gordon v Liverpool in the Carabao Cup final. 30 seconds to go. Here we go. Can Newcastle make it count? It's gonna have to be a big finish. You can't dally around with it. You've got to get it into the box. Don't mess about with it. Got to go in. It's got to go in. Keepers all day. Terrible ball in that. Terrible ball in. And he's claimed it. So Bruggen's claimed it. And Herzler now just knows he's counting down the seconds. As soon as he kicks this up the field, it should be full time. And there you go. 2-1, game over. 2-1. It was Danny Welbeck, Rubes. Danny Welbad. It was a fantastic goal. Absolutely brilliant finish. Really poor from Livramento. Your score prediction was correct. Dan, I know. I'm now gutted. I'm panicking. Now I'm panicking. Now I'm panicking. Because if Fulham beat Man United 2-1, I think the odds on both of them 2-1 was something like 50-1. Something stupid like that for 2-1 away wins, both of them. So, yeah, there you go. Right, I'm going to stop the stream. And then I'm going to restart the stream for Man United against Fulham. So if you're in the chat, if you're in TikTok, if you're in Instagram, if you're in Facebook, if you're in YouTube, wherever you are watching this, make sure you get back over to the stream for the Fulham and United one. So I'm literally going to be back on and I'm going to be losing my job. I'm going to lose my job. Ruined my holiday. So yeah, so I'll be back in 2 minutes. I'll see you then. Make sure you come back.